The car market is one of the most ever-changing markets in the world. Today, everyone is getting a Porsche, and tomorrow it's Ferraris that are skyrocketing in sales. Recently, the momentum has shifted to UK-based MG Motors, which has completely taken over the European market. And guess what the effect is on other brands? Well, they've all had to lower the prices of their products just to get people to still be interested in their products. In this video, we will be taking you through how MG Motors has achieved this feat and everything concerning this sudden European takeover. And if you stick around till the end, we'll show you just about how MG's takeover has affected your most known brands. Have you ever driven an MG vehicle? You might not have, and even if you have, the car manual might not have come with enough background information about the brand. So we'll help you with that. What is the MG brand about? MG is a British automotive marque founded by a man named Cecil Kimber back in the 1920s. But it wasn't until the launching of the MG Car Company Limited in July 1930 that the marque was made famous. Where does the name come from? Cecil Kimber founded the marque using the initials of a private car retail sales and service company based in Oxford, Morris Garages, that belonged to William Morris. Moving on, the MG marque was in continuous use for years, except, of course, during World War II, and despite the continual change in ownership over the years, from becoming a division of British Motor Corporation Limited (BMC) to the British Leyland Motor Corporation in 1968 and the Rover Group around the late 1990s, the marque remained in use. Even when the Chinese company Nanjing Automobile Group, which merged into SAIC in 2007, purchased the marque along with other assets of what was then known as the MG Rover Group, the marque was kept intact, and finally, in June 2011, the British saw the MG come back home, with the MG6 being the first new MG model launched in the UK in 16 years. MG cars have become widely known over the years for their open two-seater sports cars as well as their saloons and coupes, with engines ranging from 3 liters to 3.5 liters. Are you a big motorsport fan? If yes, then the MG cars are surely not new to you. From the brand's earliest days, the marque was used predominantly for two-seater sports cars made at the MG Car Company factory in Abingdon, and has been used in competitions since way back in the 1930s. After taking a break from racing, MG cars were back on the racetrack in the infamous tragedy-laden 1955 24 Hours of Le Mans race, where their best car finished 12th. Not so impressive, but here's a fun fact for you. The MG was reported to be the last foreign car brand used in NASCAR driven by Smokey Cook in 1963, and remained so until the use of the Toyota Tundra silhouette in the Craftsman Truck Series. And since returning to the racetrack in 2001, MG has been establishing their place as a top racing vehicle, with Jason Piston leading the way for their team. We've taken you through everything you need to know about the MG brand. How did this sudden growth spike come about? Well, after Nanjing Automobile took over in 2005, the Chinese had one aim, and that was to resurrect the MG brand in Europe. And boy, have they done that. But it was a gradual process. We mean, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was MG. They started with a return model in 2009, the MG TF Roadster, put together in the original MG Rover factory in Longbridge with CKD kits from China. Frankly speaking, it'll have been a surprise to even the manufacturers if the cars sold well. having already introduced the model way back in 1995, had it updated and renamed in 2002 and still didn't make up to 1,000 sales, so production was suspended in 2011, by which time Nanjing had merged with the Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, one of China's largest automobile industries. More unsuccessful models were released, including the MG6 mid-size sedan and hatchback, which was the first all-new model to be developed under the MG brand since 1995, based on the Chinese Ro 550. But guess what? It didn't do well at all. The sales expectations were low. After 6 years, the model still somehow underperformed the already low expectations. The SAIC MG wasn't giving up at all, though, launching the MG3 in September 2013 that went on to become the best seller they've had in years thanks to its good value, European design, and sporty handling, true to its MG genes. From then till 2017, the MG3 recorded success in the UK with over 4,000 sales. Fast forward to October 2019. MG Motors released a couple of other vehicles that did quite well on the market when it comes to annual sales, and the MG Motor Europe started its operations with the ambition to make electric mobility accessible for European motorists. Almost immediately, the brand began to make quite an impression. The company merged its UK business with its mainland European sales operations, with the Netherlands, Malta, and Ireland being the earlier countries they began expansion, with the aim to completely overtake the car business in the regions. After the first 3 months in the aforementioned countries, 2,000 vehicles were already registered. Now that's quite a start. By 2020, sales had started in Norway, and the MGZ SCV quickly rose to the top, becoming one of the 10 best-selling cars nationwide. And a few months after, this same success was recorded in Denmark. This car sure did revolutionize the European market, for MG being the first 100% electric SUV actually affordable to the general public, as well as meeting all the needs of European motorists. It became the first ever electric SUV in the B segment to receive a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, having more than 15,000 customers in its first full year on the market. It was also named the Car of the Year in Sweden and Family Car of the Year in Belgium. For years prior to the 2019 Europe launch, MG had stuck to keeping its UK business, which has stood for decades separate from that of the European business, as the UK brand offers both combustion engines and electric vehicles. But the European business is strictly for electric cars. Since both units have been under the control of longtime UK Managing Director William Wang, the entire MG brand has experienced success beyond their expectations. Maybe mainland Europe was their promised land all this while. Who knows? We're sure you wanted to know how successful exactly these European sales we speak about are, so we'll give you the numbers. You might want to get a pen and paper down, as well as a calculator to do the math. For starters, MG's European business had quite the year in 2021 despite issues concerning shortage of computer chips and the global pandemic. They were able to triple their total vehicles sold in mainland Europe with a total of 21,946 sales compared to 7,200 in 2020. Iceland, Belgium, France, Austria, and Luxembourg became sales countries for MG in 2020, but was that going to be enough? Nah. They moved on to expand to Germany, Sweden, Portugal, Spain, and Italy in 2021, and under 18 months, MG had 12 national sales organizations and over 400 sales and service locations as proof of the growth and ambition of the renewed car brand. Of course, the whole story started in the UK, And the British sure know how to feast on their own success, recording a total of 30,600 purchases of MG vehicles out of the total 52,546 that were registered across Europe in 2021. After launching other models in 2021, like the MG HS plug-in hybrid and the MG Marvel R Electric, that have been doing well till date, the year 2021 was highlighted with the launch of a renewed, updated version of the MG SCV with a refreshed design, significantly improved performance, more comprehensive range, faster charging rate, and advanced connectivity. If you doubt such a car exists, then visit an MG shop yourself. At the end of the year, the CEO of MG Motor Europe, Matt Lay, expressed his delight in the year's success, saying, "MG is doing very well in Europe. Since we have been active in Europe, we have shown to be of proven value. But our ambitions obviously go further. In 2022, we expect to triple our sales again. We will introduce new electric models and will have a stronger presence in Europe." And boy, did they achieve those ambitions. By September 2022, MG had doubled sales in their European business to 72,644 from 38,187. That is over 34,000 sales in 9 months. This increase has helped the MG brands overtake established brands such as Land Rover and Porsche. And although the UK accounts for 53% of this sales, its share is set to decrease as the SAIC-owned company develops its 14 main markets in mainland Europe. Do you want a shocker? Here's one. In the UK alone, MG ranks as the 12th largest car brand in Britain, ahead of your favorite and most popular brands, including Fiat, Honda, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mazda, Volvo, Renault, Skoda, and even Tesla. As a result, many of these companies have begun dropping car prices to attract customers. Elon is definitely not happy about this. By MG's predictions, they could have reached 65,000 sales this year, but due to lack of enough Chinese-built cars to sell, the it is 50,000. And that is still very high if you ask us. We mean just a decade ago, MG was scrapping for 3,000 sales annually. Leading this wave of a complete takeover of the car industry for MG alongside the MG SCV is the MG5 station wagon. The MG5 is virtually the only affordable electric station wagon available in the whole of Europe. Weird, right? Of course. Given the popularity of station wagons in Europe, it isn't expected that MG5 should be the only affordable car of its type. But when you take a look at the refreshed and updated models and the very considerable cost, you'll understand. The MG5 EV was also named as the UK's 5th most popular EV, but we can tell that won't last for long with the MG cooking up a new model, the MG4 hatchback, that is sure to take over. The MG4 will debut an all-wheel drive version the following year as it targets the lucrative hatchback market in the UK, and we can't wait for it. The brand's success is attributable to the way MG positions itself as the sensible option in terms of cost, gear, and technology, without sacrificing quality and safety. We're sure you enjoyed this video, so make sure you like and comment under this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our other videos.